So it's time to party like it's 2025. Is that how the song goes?
No, I don't know. 2025 is basically done.
Oh.
We're like almost, it's all pretty much over. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye, 2025.
All right. I guess it's end of 2025, so we should do a 2025 wrap up of games.
Yeah, what our top 5 games were that were released in 2025. Coming up next. Welcome to WiscoDice. Hey, yo, folks, I am your host, Conesy with Most, and I am joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And this is our top 5 games of 2025. Coming up next, but first, let's roll into what we're drinking. And what are you drinking?
I am drinking some lovely tea from Druid's Tea Garden. It's called Dragon's Breath. This is like a cinnamony, clovey, spicy mixture that's lovely for this time of year. What do you got?
And I have a little Wake the Dead from Just Coffee Co-op. Ran it through the espresso machine. I've added a little brown sugar, cinnamon, a splash of vanilla to give it a little extra
fancy.
yum. Yeah, I hope so. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll find out.
I just pour water over stuff.
That's what we're drinking.
Yes.
We want to know what you're drinking while you're watching this video. So if you let us know that, write down in the comments. And while you're down there, what should they do?
Oh, you should definitely smash that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already, because every new subscriber earns a little dance and a woohoo! We love our subscribers. We love knowing that you enjoy this content and that we should keep making more content.
And we know most of you haven't subscribed already, so do it now.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about our top 5 games of 2025.
And these are games that were published in 2025 or first available in the U.S.
Yeah, basically anything from Essenspiel 2024 to Essenspiel 2025 is pretty close to what our kind of requirements are. And that's largely because there's so many great games that are released at Essenspiel, but then it's like 3 or 4 months later before they're kind of widely available here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. So giving those games a chance to kind of populate and cross the border into the U.S. and make sure that they've had a chance to get played. Like one of these games that released at Essenspiel 2024 that, I'm sorry, and nobody I knew had a chance to get it in the U.S. until it was 2025.
Yep. So these are all fairly new games. Some were crowdfunded, some weren't. Some, we're not saying these are the easiest to get your hands on at the moment.
Some of these games are a little challenging to get your hands on right now. One of them in particular I can think of. But
should we start with that one?
No, we should kick off with Galactic Cruise, because this is the one that if you've listened to our podcast, or if you've listened to our review of this game previously, you know that this is Suzanne's. If you talk to Suzanne at all, you know that this is her top game of 2025.
Oh, yes. I love Galactic Cruise from Conesy and Suzanne Games. I have been waiting for this game to come out. I backed it, as soon as I could. On this one, you are vying to become the new CEO of a Galactic Cruise company, and you are building ships and scheduling cruises and building developments and bringing your reputation up, and I really enjoy this game. There is an implementation on BGA that does pretty good too. It's got worker placement, it's got some resource management, it's just got a lot, and the replayability for me has been really high.
Yeah, I mean
you get dragged along to play this game, and I don't think you kick and scream too much.
No, I mean this is also my top game of 2025. So.
Yep. So it's good.
Yeah, it is. We're kind of leading this off with what our top game was. Now, Galactic Cruise, I don't think does anything revolutionary as far as game mechanic wise. There are no rounds, so it's kind of constant worker. You're constantly taking in action when it's your turn. It just keeps going around to the game table until there's a game end trigger, which is nice. I really do enjoy that. I love the fact that they're on a turn that you're bringing your workers back, that it really feels like you're getting the same level of quality of turn that you're getting when you're placing a worker on the board or taking a more standard action, which you're doing more often in the game.
Yeah.
It just does everything well, and then you wrap on a really good packaging of theming on top of this game.
Oh my gosh. And the rule book and everything, the theming just is all throughout it.
I think these days you have to have a very solid game, but you also have to have a very solid theming on top of that game in order to really creep up over the top of the rest. So, which leads me into the next game. So that was Galactic Cruise from Conesy and Games. The next game, which was very close, I think it was very close on a lot of us at WiscoDice for our number one game of the year, and that is Luthier from Paverson Games.
Yes. This is... You want to tell them about this game? Or you want to drink some coffee? Okay. This is a lovely game. It's all about being a luthier, but they've expanded it to not just be a stringed instrument maker, but be an instrument maker. A little bit of a bidding system, but sometimes you don't want to win, and have the highest token in an area because you do want to take the secondary action there. Or, so every time you're placing your kind of workers, you're sending them out into either getting new patrons, performing, you're getting materials. There's lots of different action spots on the board, and then they get resolved. And you're going up different tracks. You're kind of building out this orchestra too, because when you're completing different requirements and from your patrons, you are scoring places and first chair or whatever in the orchestra scene, which is how you'll get some points at the end. And one that's unique is that this does have rounds, and when a round is completed, you're going to move. I call it the impatience marker. I forget what the actual word is, but your patron that you have on your board, they're waiting for you to complete what they've asked you to do. And if your marker gets up to the end, then hey, they leave.
Yep, they
you
get upset with
them.
you and you lose some points. Yep,
sure. So, it's just, there's a lot going on, but after you have played a round of it, you're like, oh, there's a lot going on, but there's not that much going on. I can't figure out what to do.
Yeah, this game, while it's been touted from Paverson as being a fairly heavyweight game,
which I feel it is.
I mean, it is a heavyweight game.
There's a lot to balance.
But it is, I don't think it's any heavier than Distilled, really. But, that's my opinion. It's definitely different. But the thing is, there's only 5 action spots on the main game board. Yep. And then there's 2 action spots on your player board that you and only you can take. Everybody's player board has the same 2 actions, though. And then a market that you ultimately can go to when you're resolving actions. You place your workers all face down. They have different strengths. And this is where that bidding comes in on the different action spots. And you're taking in turn placing one of your workers at a time. And there's nothing you can do to unlock extra workers really in the game. They just unlock at certain rounds.
Yeah, there is one starting
for the asymmetric
family
starting
that you have. So the factions are families in this one.
Sure.
And so there's one that does start with one right away. I mean, I've played this several times. I've not played every family yet.
No.
So I'm still not sure what I think about that one. But yeah, there's lots of different families. So there's lots of replayability, and you don't know, and you're doing this blind bidding.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, but so everybody does until everybody's workers are all placed on the board, right? So you don't know, and then the trick in this game is now when you go to resolve actions, you do it in player order. When the player's choosing, it's not like you start from the left and you go around the board clockwise, so you know exactly what order actions are going to resolve in. No, it is your turn in player order. You choose the action location on the board or the market or on your player board that's going to get resolved. Now, if you choose an action spot that's on the player board, you then reveal all of the workers, yours and other players, that were at that location. And whoever had the highest strength worker gets to resolve the action there first, and then you kind of go on until the lowest strength worker gets resolved. So this is where, like, when you were in that like planning phase, basically you could be like
count.
bluffing a little bit and going, I'm going to place my worker on this location first, but I just threw a strength 1 worker, which is the weakest, because all I really need is to get some raw material from that location, and I don't need what it is. But I'm going to make Suzanne think that, oh, what is that? What had been put there? Did he put a 5 there? That's I really need this card that's in the card row to do what I'm trying to do. So I better bid a 6. Because you can send assistants to help magnify the strength of your workers at locations. So there's a real interesting psychology to how that works. And then on top of that, then when the resolution happens, like, oh, hey, well, Suzanne goes and resolves a different location, and I needed that location to resolve I have workers there too, but I needed a different location on the board to resolve first so I could hopefully get resources from that location to be able to maximize what I was going to do on this other location. It's really interesting, and you have to kind of be prepared not to get everything you wanted, but so whoever kind of maximizes that chaos.
Plan. You need a plan and a backup plan every round. And also, depending on what strength you put down on there, it also changes how powerful the action you get to take is. It's not just if you're first. It's if you're, first is just the order of like what's out there and choosing from like what you're going to do. But then the strength, you may get additional bonuses. So there's a lot to the game.
There is a lot going on.
If you want to ignore certain parts of it, you can, and you can still have fun and play the game.
Well, the parts still work. Like, you're not ignoring the rules.
No. Like, no, you're not ignoring the rules, but you're not, if you don't want to plan ahead.
Well, I mean, same thing in Galactic Cruise, right?
Yes.
It's any good, fairly heavyweight game, you can't do everything. That's just the moral of the story.
This is what I'm going to focus on. Yep. Exactly. Right. So let's go to something that's
Luthier from Papers and Games.
Yes.
The next one up is Forest Shuffle Dartmoor from Lookout Games. This one is a new standalone game leveraging the Forest Shuffle mechanic, which I just started. It was like kind of my surprise game of the year because I had not played Forest Shuffle.
No,
previously.
how did we start playing Forest Shuffle?
I don't know. You're the one that
there was one of you lovely viewers commented on a video where I was talking about Terraforming Mars, asked if I'd play Shuffler, that said that they really enjoyed Forest Shuffle, and I was like, I need to look at Forest Shuffle. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just been sitting there and I hadn't played it, and yes. Thank you. So keep suggesting games you think we'll like, because we definitely need more games.
Yeah, we certainly can't suffer with having any more games. Forest Shuffle Dartmoor, it really, I feel like it's obviously a rethemed version of Forest Shuffle. Yeah. It's still pretty much, if you know Forest Shuffle, it's super easy. There's like a half dozen or so little minor subtle changes to the rules in Dartmoor. I think the game itself really maximizes taking a number of the expansions that came out for Forest Shuffle and kind of condensing them into a single box game.
Yep.
With a unique theme and different wildlife and different patterns of like how you can min-max your scoring engines. Like, you do get a little bit into like, oh hey, I'm playing regular Forest Shuffle. I'm gonna do the hooved strategy. I'm gonna do the deer strategy. I'm gonna do the butterfly strategy. You're going to do one of these strategies because you've had very good success with it over and over, and you can kind of predict a little bit, hey, these are the cards I'm getting, and that's what's going to work off on it. So it's a nice surprise every time I play Dartmoor because I haven't really figured this out. And then the Moors adding an extra, like, kind of, I would say monkey in the wrench a little bit in the tree mechanic. Because they're different than trees, but it makes the deck is full of a lot of those, so it means there's a lot less trees in the deck too, so it's harder to get trees necessarily.
Yep, and you can't just play saplings, or you can't just play generic moors, like, so that, hey, I don't have what I want in my hand, I can just flip a card over, is not in this version either. Mm-hmm. So it adds a little different way of having to think through what you're going to do. We have a lot of friends that love Forest Shuffle. Then they play Dartmoor. Now they have to have both. Like, we have both. Like, it's not crazy to have both of them. And just so many people that we've introduced this to that are like, oh my gosh, this game is great. Just, there's
absolutely.
something about this game that people enjoy. It does, when you're playing 2 players, it takes about the same amount of table space as when you're playing 4 players.
It's a little bit, like, I think 4 players, it takes up a little more space, but yeah, your tableau in a 2-player game gets to be kind of ridiculous. It definitely is
the score's much
less
higher.
Players, the score is higher. Well, it's a little easier, I think, too, in a 2-player game to get the cards you're looking for, because, like, if I'm playing butterfly strategy and there's 4 players,
and
a butterfly
dragonflies.
Or, well, dragonflies in this, sorry. If I'm playing dragonfly strategy in Dartmoor, and there's 4 players at the table, and a dragonfly gets put in the clearing, person who goes right after me. Well, there's 2 more players that might snag that out of the clearing before it gets back to me.
Mm-hmm. And they may have planned to keep someone from getting dragonflies.
Yeah. Like, hey, I'm going to kind of force other players' hands to put this dragonfly out so that they have to take cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it comes in, just not a huge box.
No, it's not a huge box. It's not the smallest game box on this list.
No, but it's a lot of game in there that we have proved can be played time and time again.
I mean, it's a point salad of a game, but it is a lot of fun every time you play it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So just go ahead and shuffle those forests and Forest Shuffle Dartmoor. Next up.
All right, so next up is a surprise game for us this year that our friends at Thunderworks Games developed and had at Gen Con, and it was a hit. It's just, this is a tiny box game.
Yes, this is the smallest box game on the
It's like the size of a deck of cards almost, and it's called Fliptoons.
Yep, you flip the tunes.
And so in this game, you start with a hand of 6 cards, and you are shuffling them, and you're laying them out in a 3x2 grid. And then you're adding up how much fame is on there, because you are trying to attract cartoon talent to your agency and have the most fame. And then what you'll do is you will either dismiss cards, so basically fire them and kick them out of your agency, or you will hire from a river of them that are out for you to choose from, all with different amounts. And then each of these cards that you're hiring, and even starts in your hand, has different abilities and different ways that their fame may be calculated, or just a set amount of fame. And it's really cute, and every round you're taking your entire deck, you're shuffling it, you're laying out a 3x2 grid, and then calculating your fame.
It is a deck builder / deck caller. Like you're
optimizing this deck.
You're constantly trying to revise and optimize your tune deck so that you can get the maximum amount of fame consistently out, because it's a race to 30 fame. Whoever is the first to 30 to generate 30 fame triggers the end game. Doesn't mean you trigger that you're the winner. You just trigger the end game. You go through, once that's triggered, you go through a full final round of everybody doing the hires and fires, and then you rebuild that deck one more time, and you're going to flip out. Now, whoever triggered the end game, they get a bonus +3 fame for triggering the end game.
Yeah, usually doesn't help me.
They're going to flip their grid out one last time, and then whoever generates the most fame, including that +3 bonus fame for whoever triggered the end of the game, is the winner. And that's where that consistency really, really matters in this game. Because if you're, and this is what happens to you a lot of times, is you like, oh, I just flipped 32 fame or 31 fame and trigger the game.
Just over 30.
Like my deck really, like it theoretically could, but I haven't quite optimized it fully yet. Crud, I've now just tripped the game, and here I am, or we're playing 3 or 4 players, here's somebody else that's probably like 26, 27 fame. They're able to maybe acquire cards or call some cards on their final turn that now optimizes their deck just a little bit better than yours. And so then, like this last game we just played yesterday, you tripped it, you had like 32 fame on the end flip, and then I flipped,
You were pretty low on, and then
I think it was like 24 fame or something like that.
And then when we did our final flip, you were over 30.
I was like 33 or 34, and you were like 31 fame when you're on your final flip with the +3. So, but your final flip was
not
just bad, and you had you still had cards in your deck and things like that, where I had every card in my deck basically.
I was not doing a good job of calling my cards. So, but anyway, so it's a lot of fun. They have the big button expansion if you can get that also. It's just a tiny little bit of cards, and it just gives you mainly gives you a one-time reset of your flip. And, yes, if you play anywhere near him, you'll hear him make his
Everybody
sound.
should do that when you hit the button. Just like if it was a cartoon.
Yes.
Gotta get into the theme.
I know. It's
so
just I can watch him do it, and I jump every single time.
It's great.
If I'm not at his table and he's playing it, I still jump. So anyway, that is Fliptoons.
It is by far the most played game of 2025 that I've played, which is one of the reasons it's on this list.
It's just fun.
So fast, so quick. And everybody that plays it seems to really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, this is kind of like the feel good, laugh a lot game of 2025 for us.
It's a quick 5-minute filler or 10-minute filler. It takes no time to explain it. It takes no time to get people going, and you got a game in 10 or 15 minutes done.
Yep. So anyway, that's Fliptoons by Thunderworks Games, and we have the last one on our list.
Yes.
This is one you were waiting for. Why don't you explain this one?
This is
he really likes
the only game on this list that was released in 2024. Came out at 24 for Essen Spiel, and made this list because we, just like many Essen games, Essen releases, it doesn't show up in the U.S. I did not see it available for retail until January, February of 25. So we did acquire it pretty much as quickly as soon as it hit the shelves at a U.S. retailer.
It's a space theme.
Yeah, it is a space theme. This would have been my game of the year for 24 if I would have gotten a chance to play it in 2024. Yep. That game is SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence from CGE. This game is eye candy all over the place. There is color, and the map looks terrifying if you're looking at this. This game looks like the most confusing, difficult to play game when you put it on the table compared to all these. And that's comparing it against Galactic Cruise. Galactic Cruise looks very straightforward compared to this. There's a lot going on, but it's very straightforward looking. Same with Luthier. Luthier, while it takes up a ridiculous amount of table space, thanks, Dave. I think that is a staple now of Paverson games, is they have to take up a ridiculous amount of table space.
Oh, but it was worth it. But anyway, back to SETI.
SETI, while it does take up a good chunk of table space, it is not nearly as complicated as it visually looks.
No, it just has lots of different parts on the out.
Yeah, there's basically two primary actions you're going to be doing on most of your there are a number of primary actions, but there's basically, if it boils down to one of three things, you're going to play a card out of your hand and do the action on that, which is oftentimes triggering one of these other two primary actions. Or you're going to be the primary action is probes. This kind of idea of sending probes
out into space,
into the solar system to
not
find
alien probes.
No, yeah, they're not alien probes. They're like satellites or things like little research unmanned research vessels, right, that are going out and collecting maybe samples or whatever.
Yeah.
These probes might end up landing on planets or going into orbit around planets through the course of the game. Or you're going to be scanning the skies for using radio telescopes and Hubble telescope and other space telescope time to scan the skies and see if you can find traces of alien life that way. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, all of these things will ultimately end up with you accruing data that will go on your player board into your computer. And then you can use that. use your computer to analyze that data, make deterministic stuff that allows you to discover alien traces as well. And at some point during the game, you will unlock one or both of the alien species that are unlockable. There's 5 of them that come in the game. You don't know which 2 are going to be in this game, and when they come out, they are going to change mechanically, not necessarily like how the major gameplay works, but they throw in like a new kink into the game and a new way to kind of regulate. They all have like their own kind of unique little mini games that work with them. Automatopoeia or whatever it is, like you can like that one, you can score like you're collecting these fossils because it's.
I don't think the alien race is onomatopoeia.
No, it's I cannot say it, but it's it's a big extraterrestrial like rock that came into our galaxy this is actually a real thing too, like and came into our solar system and then left. But in this game, you have the ability to go to it and you find fossils. You can find fossils around it, and then the fossils can then be spent when you place traces on their board to score like buku points, like up to 40 points in a single action by spending.
Fossils. You get a lot of points in this game, but like what you just mentioned is like this was, themed after an actual rock or asteroid that came in, and all of the cards and everything that you get with this game, it's related to actual like work that's been done or being done, proposed. Yep, and so. You get like that flavor text that is like it's informative if you choose to read it. It adds to the theme.
And everything kind of functionally draws a little bit like what it was. Note that there is not a Pluto on the solar system map.
In fact,
Pluto is now a promo card.
Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing. We're not going to get into the Pluto dispute today.
Or
at least I'm not.
I'm really excited to try to get my hands on the new expansion that came out for SETI that released at Essen in 25, which I will probably see in January or February here in the States. So that is SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence from CGE.
So those are our top 5 games that were, for 2025. And we'd love to hear some of what your top 5 games or what your top games were for 2025, so we know other ones to start exploring, or if you have ones you want us to watch out for in 2026, that's great. I always want to add more games to our lookout list.
Yep, absolutely. So just to recap that list, that started out with Galactic Cruise, your and my game of the year from Conesy Key Games, followed by Luthier, close runner-up from Paverson Games. We then had Forced Shuffle Dartmoor from Lookout Games.
Yep. And Fliptoons from Thunderwork Games. And then to end the list, it was SETI from CGE.
All right. Well, my cup has run dry.
Mine too.
All right. So that ends it for another round of Board Games and Coffee. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let us know what you're drinking and what your game of the year was for 2025 in the comments below. Until next time, peace out.
Hey there, it's Conesy. Thank you so much for watching. We put out videos weekly here at WiscoDice. Check out our channel for more great videos and don't forget to subscribe. We also have more great content on our website at WiscoDice.com. Of course, we do this all for you, the viewers. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.